on TVP.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
All right, well,
But I was just, speculating. Oh, you want to do the introductions?
yeah, just in case I upload it to YouTube, you know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's do
Strong,
it again.
strong opening, and then people.
Okay, strong opener.
Yeah, in the top
Ladies
left.
and gentlemen,
Oh,
welcome to the best of 3 between the world champion in the top left, playing for Team Liquid. It is Clem.
Yeah, I just can't top that. In the bottom right, a red Protoss player from Gen G. It is Trap, not the world champion.
Not the world champion, but he
No.
could be in the future.
Yeah, fast improving since his return from
Yeah,
the
he's
military.
fast improving.
It's,
And he was brilliant as well.
very good when
Don't
he
forget
left.
that.
Yeah, very good when he left. Pretty good Dawnstrong coming back straight away, and honestly just keeps on getting better and better.
You know? Wait, actually, I think I need to open the door. Give me a
Okay.
second. You keep talking to the folks now.
You can go open the door, and I will. I don't know what I'm going to tell the folks about. Just hello. Thanks for joining us for a beautiful Monday. Wait for Harscom to come back and see what interesting things he would like to talk about, because... Oh, hey, there's an engineering bay block going down, so there you go. Clem, going to try and take control early by engineering bay blocking, trying to force that Nexus out of position, something Clem actually really does love, because he can really take advantage of that a lot of the time. With his Hellion drop builds, or even just Hellion run-bys, that's something he does a lot of the time, so if you force that Nexus out of location, that is something that you're generally happy with, and Trap seems to know this, that's why he's just going to pull the probes in response. He sees it before the engineering bay gets to full HP, which means you can pull the probes as a response to this as well. And yeah, just wants to clear this out and actually just expand on the natural instead of the third base, so that's going to be the plan on that one. There's a couple probes in the SCV, come back around, and now the Zealot is there to finish off the Cyber Core. The engineering bay, sorry, gets himself the Stalker building on the follow-up. And the Nexus will go down momentarily. Kaboom. Just like that, so... Gets that going. CC on the way up on the other side from Clem. Gonna go high ground CC, so not gonna have to deal with the initial harass of his opponent. Obviously, when you see that Zealot quickly, you force the Zealot quickly, and Gateway units a little bit more prioritized than the Nexus. You know, high ground CC just means you don't have to deal with any pressure that they then might apply. You're pretty weak at this point in the game as the Terran. You've got a single Marine. He's not building more Marines either. Prioritizing the Widowmine, prioritizing the Starport. Widowmine makes a lot of sense. It will guarantee a kill on any unit that walks up that ramp. And then just wants to get a Starport up, and finally is going to go back to Marine production. So all of this is viable because he goes high ground CC. If this was low ground CC and the Zealot shows up right now, yeah, okay, maybe the Widowmine would get a kill, but then the Stalker can genuinely just push in and control the natural. Now all the Stalker can do is chip away at a reactor, which is... it's fine, but it's not delaying a CC. It's not delaying the natural from coming up or anything along those lines. As that reactor takes a few more shots, Marines will want to get a little bit more competitive now. Obviously, that reactor does not want to go down. Widowmine's going to re-burrow here, believes he has enough Marine firepower to keep the units back. And we'll be able to do just that. There's 2 more Marines popping, Hellion on the way. That should be good enough to deal with this, as the Adept does not want to shade there. Widowmine has recharged and is waiting to blow up on anything possible.
What happened, Wardy?
Clem engineering bay block, Trap made a Zealot, Stalker and Adept, and attacked across the map, lost the Zealot.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
You want to hear what happened with me? My neighbor came to pick
Yeah.
up the package,
Yeah.
but he was home all day already.
Oh.
And they've been doing this lately, where specifically, DHL,
Uh-huh.
they, rather than, they just pick one random house out of 7 that are next to each other, and they just deliver all packages there. So they can go faster.
That's insane. Then you have to go
It's
get your
insane.
package.
And you know what's funny? So my neighbors are often not home. Last time they were on a holiday,
Uh-huh.
and DHL is allowed to throw their packages in one of their garbage bins, that's outside. So last time they were on a holiday, and my package was in that garbage bin for 5 days. They didn't know because they were on a holiday.
Uh-huh.
And then I check my app, and it just says it's been delivered at my house. I'm like, what the hell is this? It absolutely is. DHL is the worst. They also stole. They stole my. Did I tell you this during COVID when we couldn't go to the hairdresser?
Let's show you a clip.
I ordered a hair trimmer.
Yeah. I remember this.
I ordered a hair trimmer, a good one, and almost all of them were sold out. This was one of the last ones. I ordered it, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be banging. And before this guy delivered it, Irene said, okay, I'll cut your hair just for fun, So we're going at it with a kitchen scissor, and it looks god awful. God awful, right? The worst haircut you've ever seen in your life. It was terrible. And then I check my app and it says it's delivered, but my hair trimmer never gets delivered, and I can't order a single different one. So I have this terrible kitchen scissor haircut for the next 2 months before these things go back into store.
I do remember this conversation.
Dude, I wore a hat for like 3 months. I never wear hats.
I love that
This
you
is
still
good
have
for Clem, no?
I feel like you never really dealt with this. I feel like this...
No, you know, there was nothing there. They didn't do anything about it, and it wasn't just my stuff. I live with housemates. They also stole their guitars. It was 2 guitars and my hair trimmer. It's called a trimmer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the buzz cut.
Yeah.
They stole all of it. And they pretended like they were doing us a favor, refunding us the product. It's like, we know it's been delivered because our delivery guy wouldn't see that. I'm like, he stole it. He faked my signature.
He must have had a really bad haircut himself, mate.
Yeah, he had it rough as well. He played with the kitchen scissors the night before.
Clem's gonna get cleaned up, but only after doing mega damage. His tanks have been popping off. He actually did a great job trading with the Phoenix earlier in this as well, getting one of those killed off initially. Phoenix did shut off reinforcements, which kind of stopped Clem from maybe doing even more here, but feels pretty rough for Trap, right? I mean, resources lost is even, but you lost a couple Phoenix, you lost your 3rd base setup as well, so any progress you were kind of meant to be at in this game is kind of being just completely undone, right?
Yeah, and here, this is what I was talking about earlier, remember? Like the Viking stuff, it's so good. And I think Clem is the trendsetter when it comes to this. He just loves doing this nowadays. If he has a decent early game, rather than pretending like he has to play it out, he's just gonna build like 4 to 6 Vikings. Usually he actually does it with tanks, I think. I haven't seen this a whole lot with mines. I guess because there's charge? Is that why?
I guess
Does
so.
he know there's charge? I guess he saw no robo units.
Just makes an assumption. I mean, what else are you going into? If you don't see an immortal, then...
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, mines. I like it then. But then, do I like the Vikings as much because there's no Colossus as a target?
But if you can just shut down the Phoenix, then you basically just got Zealots.
Yeah, that's also true. But even if you don't cut down the Phoenix, it's really just Zealots and Phoenix, which is also, I mean,
that's true. Well,
you just get like 3 goes.
Especially in this case where the numbers just aren't going to be there for Trap. Like,
Yeah.
this would work if you have if the Protoss had won the early game and he just overwhelms with Zealot. It's so powerful, but right now, like 7 charges look pathetic against this army. Like, absolutely terrible. No upgrades.
Yeah.
This is +1.
You know what I always feel like in these situations? I think pulling the boys is actually correct.
Yeah. Well, because he has no way to deal with it. Like, the Zealots will die before the SCVs are dead.
Exactly. It's stupid because it feels like you're taking a big risk, but you're actually taking a risk by not pulling the boys, you know?
Yep.
That's the real risk. He actually loses 11 SCVs. Now just pull off and go across the map. Yeah, there's no storm yet. But theoretically there could be storm. Now I wouldn't, I wouldn't trust it anymore if I'm Clem. Yeah. Although you see an Archon morph, it's like, ooh. Ugh.
Good play from Trap, obviously, to buy a bit of time with that attack and to pull Clem back, because Clem was ready to go across the map and deal some damage. So Trap buys himself some time, gives himself a few more moments, just doing what he can to try and dig back into this game. Being a pretty rough game number 1. And hard to say what's worse, your haircut after the scissor incident or the opening of this game for Trap.
It's close. This was god awful. Honestly, so was my haircut, but this is really pushing it. Honestly, the fact that Trap has no Colossus is really helping him out. Like,
yeah,
hey,
if you had Colossus, it'd be terrible because they would just die.
Yeah, you just provide more targets. This is not a bad start of a fight either. Now he probably needs to pull back at some point. Yeah, I lost too many Zealots, eh?
Yeah, I don't like the fight at all. I don't think you gain anything by trying to go up here apart from just... Like, does he really believe that Clem lost too much pulling back on that previous fight, that he was able to take a fight? I just don't see it.
He's also getting a Robo Bay with maybe it's for Disruptors. I really think Storm should have been the play here. Like, you just Storm and...
Right.
I don't even know what you transition into from there on out. If there's already 6 Vikings, Storm Disruptor feels so bad, you know? it really feels bad if there's this many Vikings out already to transition into Colossus. But if you never get Colossus, then it also feels bad. He's just adding more and more Archons, though. Like a 150, 160 supply push, 3 Ghost. That should be toast, no?
Yeah, as the Prism gets caught as well, so that goes further supply opportunities across the map, which could have maybe been a way back into this for Trap. As the Bio will open some rocks and actually have the Phoenix around the back getting kind of picked on. They're trying to pick on things, but they're getting picked on themselves.
Yeah. Dude, if he clears all 3 Ghosts while they're walking across, it's still gonna be rough, but maybe possible. But if you're not clearing the Ghost, like, good luck, my friend.
I mean, he only has 1 EMP now, though. So, like, for this moment right here, maybe there's some chances. Zelds are going to come from both sides. Good setup of the fight for Trap. The Wooden Mines obviously help a lot against the Zelds that are coming from the backside. We're still yet to drop the EMP that this Ghost has available. As the Archons are going to be pretty much the only thing left in a moment. Clem just backs away. Good defense from Trap, honestly. I mean, finds a great fight with those few Zelds coming in from the other side. Is the only thing that made that kind of seem possible.
Trap is playing a phenomenal game. Very low worker count, though. We shouldn't forget that a lot of the supply is in Vikings. Like, there's 12 supply in Vikings. So, actually, the supply is pretty close. Like, if you're not hitting your EMPs, you're not going to win a fight against Zealot Archon. That's even army supply, right? Now we have a Colossus. So, these Vikings will actually start becoming useful. But now the Vikings went back home.
Yeah.
Clem's not having his day when it comes to the unit movement.
You know, I feel like a lot of Trap's games look like this, where like he struggles early game. His later game actually looks like pretty darn good. It's just like he's so dead off the start that it's like doesn't really matter. But I feel like I said this originally. I was like, man, it's going to be easy for Trap to become a top level player again when he returns from the military, because actually it feels like his late game is already amazing. It's just his early game needs some fixing. But still having some of those issues just getting set up apparently.
I was watching him play a PvZ against, I want to say it was Shin. And I think he won the series 3-0 in the end. But I think it was one of your tournaments as well. It's like, it was so sick because it looked like all of those early games were extremely bad. And then you just kind of turned it around and won the games. It was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I think I recall something along those lines. This is a Terrence around this time that maybe is a bit too much. Colossus is going to get jumped on by the Vikings. The Prism will try and micro. I mean, Trap is doing everything he can to make something of this. The Prism will get targeted next. And both Colossus go down in sync. So Trap is going to die, but like you said, pretty darn good effort to keep him in this and to keep it going for at least a little while longer. Definitely gives you some hope heading into game number 2. If he can just get that better start, we could be in for a heck of a game.
Yeah, Vikings go back into the skies. We'll try to clear that Colossus. Now back down to the ground. And the problem here is just obvious, right? There's too much infrastructure for Clem, who's on 7 barracks, double starport. He has infinite cash as well. I mean, this is just not a fair fight. GG gets called. Clem is going to win game number 1 here on Oceanborn in 13 minutes.
He didn't play Nightmare since then?
It doesn't say.
No,
he lost the Nightmare before, way before, on the 28th of the month before, September? Yeah, September.
Really? Oh, these days are passing too quickly, man.
yeah. It also was in your tournament.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking of it.
To beat Showtime with a 2-1 score.
It was in my tournament that you beat
rank 12 in the world. That's pretty impressive.
You beat him in the in the groups, and it made the group really weird.
Why? Because I wasn't supposed to win any games, or
no, because obviously it made the entire group very interesting, right? Because like Showtime lost, I think he still won the group, but because he lost to you, obviously it was like tiebreaker situation. It made the group very interesting because he also took a map off Rogue. So it was like
I should have beaten Rogue 2-0. I recall that series.
You're right. That was wow.
I should have beat him 2-0. Then if I could have lost it, I lost the Beyond 2-0 for free.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that was the last time that Showtime lost. Now I think of it. About that group. I literally just cut up the videos for YouTube of that yesterday as well.
Really?
Yeah.
You do all of that yourself?
Yeah. It takes like a minute.
Such a hard worker. You sit all day casting, and then at night you do the videos.
and I spent 30 seconds cutting up a YouTube video.
Don't undersell this.
It's a tough life, buddy. Yeah, then you have to make the thumbnail. I put a lot of effort into that. See, I've trained my YouTube audience to only click very basic, boring thumbnails. that have an image of StarCraft and the player names. It's really good. If I put any more effort in, the clicks go down. It's amazing. It's a great move.
Yeah, that is very good. You have you have a well-trained audience.
Yeah. They don't oblige you to click play. To click
Yeah.
Ghost River again.
Yeah, I am starting to believe that maybe I am the weird one.
Yeah, your veto's on. I was gonna say like Ghost River is in all of the best of threes. Like really all of them.
It's such a tiny map, though. You know, it's unfair to judge me based on that because I play different from these guys.
Isn't
I tend to take more money earlier.
more money earlier?
Yeah.
Greedier?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't play greedy on a small map. Shock horror.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think. Oh, he's playing the Imba build. He calls it the Imba build himself as well.
Oh yeah. What's this?
Yeah.
Marine?
It's the 2 Cyclone, like
the push
11
into natural?
Marine push out.
Yeah. And he just clicks the battery down and wins half the time.
Yeah, he does. But sometimes if he thinks he can't click the battery down, he drops 7 Marines in the main base and kills 15 workers. That's also a viable way to win.
Also a great move.
You know what's funny though? Is that the other Terrans, they're not good with this build. Like,
yeah, I know.
I don't understand how that type of stuff works, you know? That just one dude can execute it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's just a build order.
Isn't it how you use the units? Like his micro is just phenomenal sometimes.
It is, but I mean, Maru's micro is also phenomenal. You know, we shouldn't pretend it ain't.
Is that not the same as like max specs with like 4K blink? Like,
yeah, but I think no, that's true. Yeah, but it feels different though. Like that build requires more skill because it's a Protoss build first of all, and second of all because there's like more things going on. Like this build, there is nothing influencing it yet. You know, there's no mine drop on your side of the map. It's just you and the build. This is actually really bad losing that Cyclone.
yeah.
Trap could even potentially hold it as a result of that.
Great build was so broken. Loses a Cyclone, GG. Well, we are going to just set up to deny the third, which that seems like it's going to be easily done. 4 Marines and a Cyclone here. The other Marines are just going to be able to waltz up, and you have 2 Stalkers and an Adept. I mean, this does not feel like there was ever any hope of this third base finishing, right? Unless Clem just ignored it and went towards the natural anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Trap's hope. Blink finishes, so he will not lose any more Stalkers here. Now Clem has to obviously figure out when he wants to start pulling back and getting away from this.
Oh,
that's a great
interesting blink forward.
Yeah.
One for the books.
Cyclone saved again. Clem able to fight back a little bit, doing a decent job of it.
I mean, this should legit be illegal, no?
What Clem's micro?
No, I mean, what he was doing here. Like, being this far out on
Yeah,
like 4 Marines and a Cyclone. It's like, come on.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Clem is like always in these super risky positions. And he's like, well, I'm actually okay. I can make it work. 4 Stalkers have to back off in the end. He essentially just trades the Cyclones for Stalkers. Liberator doesn't do much, though, right? So that's a win from Trap as well. As Clem has traded worse overall. He's still... the fact he stood here now with Marines and a single siege tank is super wild to me as well.
I think this is actually allowed, though. Like, I don't mind that as much as the earlier Marine Cyclone move. Like, I think this is kind of... Yeah, I don't mind. Ooh, good pickup once again. Not surprised. 1 Stalker went down already here. It's fun here that tanks are better on siege when Clem has them than sieged. Auto turret goes down, should kill at least 2 of these Stalkers. It's 3. This is really bad. Observer goes down as well. If all of these key units for Clem stay alive, I think Trevor's in so much trouble. He lost another Stalker up top, by the way.
Yep, this is getting very, very bad. It's just going to be some Raven taking another couple of shots. Stalker going down. Marines and tanks continue to push. A couple of Stalkers still taking shots. It's just going to be seeing the units going back over that left-hand side. Clem going to get in position, and this is looking rough for Trap as the tank is going to get saved as well because Clem is able to get so much out of each and every unit. I mean, yeah. Trap at least shuts off some Marines.
Yeah, that is nice. And it's a start. Charge is about 20% done. 1 tank is very low. Actually, all 3 tanks are very low. This is really scary here if you're Clem, honestly.
Oh, wall. It doesn't last very long, but the Stalkers should be good. We get a battery. We're going to just turn around and try and get as many Stalkers as we can. I mean, Clem loses everything, but he killed a lot of stuff as well, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that last fight was just bad, right? Losing 3 tanks like this. What did he kill in the last fight? 3 Stalkers and an Immortal for 3 tanks? No way, that's a trade you want. Imagine if he pushes now with Stim, Combat, and 5 tanks. Like, how are you gonna hold that?
Yeah.
He's like 2 Zealots.
That's a very good point. As CC will lift and go to the 3rd base. Yeah. Trap is You has a really good point. What would he do if there was just 5 times? You're right.
Yeah, he would die.
Very
He'd be
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd roll over.
Charge going to finish up. Extended thermal lance coming through. Combat shells, conclusive shells, +1 attack continuing to come up as well. So obviously Clem starts to get the rest of his game on the go, and Trap will be able to have that 4th base coming in. So kind of get back on track. He is kind of low on probe count though, right? 60. Comes up on 67. Something to work on, especially as the 4th base comes online. Destination just comes to check out. Obviously, Trap loves to see exactly what's going on. Just going to check through the base, sees the Widowmine production as well. Reactor on the factory gives that away, so you know what the general tech of your opponent is turning into. Trap's also going to get the Dark Shrine going down for this mid game as well now, so Dark Shrine DT options, great for harassing, great for kind of controlling the map as well. And the longer this goes, the more happy he's going to be that he's built into that Dark Shrine, I'm sure.
I think so too. It does feel a bit early for the Shrine though, no? Like, pre-2nd Robo? Do we even have a 2nd Forge? No? Like, this is desperation, no?
Yeah. I mean...
But I don't think he's in such a desperate spot. Yeah.
No, I mean, it just seems kind of like fine.
Yeah, but he's gonna put himself in a worse spot by not having a fast 2nd row Forge. I don't like that. This is a good start.
Yeah, kind of a couple of catches. Going to see the Widowmines trying to get set up. Forces the Unburrow, and that means we're going to be able to pick off one of those kills as well. As do you have the Prism. Just going to fly in. There's going to be a few Zealots that are going to be dropping off. And SCVs will begin to go down in this natural, so this is Trap. I was trying to open up opportunities. We are going to see Clem big pull across to deal with that. The tank goes down here now quickly. He has a lot of bio nearby, just didn't jump forwards quickly enough. The Zealots in the main base will go down as well, but 12-30 and SCV's already going down. That natural is still under attack, so big damage being done, and Trap able to find some value, and Shadow Stride now on the way. 2 Disruptors building at a time, finally getting that 2nd Forge as well.
That was banging, no?
That was a great attack. I didn't think he'd ever get 16 SCVs here.
Yeah, I thought he was going to lose 12 Zealots and maybe kill a depot. That was well done. 2-1 has started for him as well. The auto turret man is still alive and is driving around looking for more kills. Not gonna get it so far. 5th base is on the way. Clem is still in, I would call this a minor lead, right? Just purely based on his army. He's like 6-7 Ghost. There's not that many Disruptors out. Then again, the Viking count isn't brilliant. But then again, the Colossus count also is only at 2. So I don't know how I feel about this game at all, Wardy. You tell me how to feel.
It feels like it should be good for Trap in some ways, but then Clem's maxed. Clem's got a 4th base comfortably, locking down observers. I think it's just it really just kind of depends on how these Disruptors do, but I'm kind of afraid that if none of these Disruptors do anything significant, then Clem's just going to roll this army and make it look very one-sided, right? Which, maybe that's just how it goes, you know, typically if Disruptors don't hit and they're a big part of your army, but I feel like we need either Disruptors or DTs to do their job. If neither of them do their job, I think Clem's going to have a very good time, because a lot of this army, I mean, it's very Stalker heavy as well, right? Which, deeper in this game is not great. It's a nice start of the Disruptors, though. Gets a good Clem to the top side.
Yeah, on Clem like they're in the control. Loses a bunch of units pretty much for free. This is on West, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. It's a little bit more understandable. DTs are trying to pass by. One of them gets into the main base. There is no turret there, but I think we have enough scans, and I think Clem has a brain big enough to figure out what's kicking off. Like, oh, SCV's disappearing. Weird shimmer on the map. Maybe a DT. Indeed scans it. A couple of zealots now hitting the third base are gonna die as well. I think Trap is getting a little bit too excited here with the harassment. What I wouldn't mind seeing is, you know, an adding in of a couple of gateways here, going up to 12, maybe even 14. I think that would be sick. He needs more and bigger disruptor hits. He only is on 4 disruptors though, so it's going to be very tricky.
Yeah, he barely has enough to just keep constant firing. He is going to get into this position where Clem has a potential to almost wrap around him. Trap does step back from that. Clem steps a bit too far into that disruptor. Vikings are putting some work in. He's coming from the upper right as well. Another disruptor shot that is going to connect, and Clem keeps on taking damage. Now DT is going to get into that mineral line. There's a tank there, but then the missile turret's going to go down. Tank can't fire anymore. We blink one DT onto the tank. Clem has a group of units bottom left-hand side, though, and so Trap's 5th base is going to get annihilated. That will not last very long at all. And for all of these attempts of harassing, Trap is not really coming out with much damage. Like, you know, a turret here and a tank there, a couple of SCVs. None of it feels super worthwhile, as it feels like you generally want more from how much he's committing to you.
Yeah, but his disruptor shots so far have been clean. Like, absolutely clean. So, I don't actually know. I think it's a pretty even game. Clem does still have a very scary army. It is kind of Viking heavy though. 9 Vikings for 1 Colossus. That's a lot of supply you're not using efficiently, as Trap also manages to find a good angle here. Zealots could go into the natural, maybe even clear an eBay or a bunch of workers. This is a move that, you know, a little bit of risk, but also could pay off.
The disruptor shot coming up that ramp. We are going to see the disruptor on the ramp going down. We're going to have ourselves a bit of a better split here as Clem is playing the chasing game. Always scary. Love the Marauder getting in the front, and because of shelling some of those disruptors, lets you get all of them as well. Vikings now chasing down that Colossus that remains, and Clem just needs to try and get up this ramp. 1 disruptor remains here, and there's just not the splash damage from Trap to fight this army if an engagement happens right now.
Yeah, Prism was there to save 2 of these disruptors as well, but he just didn't use it. That is actually a pretty painful error. He's only on 2 robos as well, not the triple robo to quickly rebuild these bad boys. I think this army that Clem has on the other side of the map is very strong at this moment. It's going to be hard for Trap to get a winning fight. 2-1 are the upgrades against 2-2, so I guess a small lead there for Trap. Giving up this 6th base isn't a huge issue though.
Yeah, he doesn't really need it right now, as Clem is in the bottom left as well, though, and so he is finding himself a bit of damage there, but he'll lose both medvacs. Wow, just keeps that one alive. Oh.
Okay, fat Zealot warp in right in sensor tower range. It's not weird because the sensor tower has a lot of range. These bad boys are going to start right-clicking turrets. Depots raise in time. Prism is going to try to go over here, and it works. Trap. Beautiful little maneuver here. That's going to break the main base, actually. Clem now needs to make a decision. Does he send a lot of stuff back, or does he all in? He's going to send stuff back. He does get caught with the rest of his army in the middle. Purification Novas are going to connect as well. Trap with a great start of a fight here.
Yeah, gets a lot done in the middle. Vikings now kind of dead supply. They can land and help out, but it's obviously not really what they're made for. Clem does get back to the choke point. That helps a lot. Scan comes down, finally cleans up in the main base in the next moment or two. But Trap has taken the supply lead. Clem has some money to spend. We'll start trying to spend it. Those DTs have been so annoying. Continue to spread around between all the different mineral lines. I mean, just causing the harassment to last for so long each and every time. We're going to blink on top of this planetary fortress. We're going to try and get it. SCV's looking to repair. Clem dives in, gets the disruptor. The Marauders will do what they can, but there's just not enough. The planetary goes down as well. Extra units showing up. The Vikings on the left side are going to get rid of a lot of Stalkers too. They'll drop in the corner, forces a warping. Clem brings reinforcements down the right. His worker count has plummeted. He's got the better army supply, and I dare say his army's a bit better overall, maybe. There's 1 Colossus, 1 DT, and otherwise it's Zealot Stalker on the side of Trap.
Yeah, I think not repairing the planetary there in time was kind of a big blunder. He waited way too long, and I don't think there was enough damage output to actually go through 14, 15 SCVs of pure repair, at least not that quickly. Still, Clem is in a playable position. His army supply is pretty freaking decent. He has the Vikings ready already, and he has a lot of ghosts. There are no disruptors currently on the map. Problem being, though, that his army is pretty bruised up. He needs time to heal it up, and Trap is not going to give him this time quite yet.
Clem pulls back a little bit. We are going to be seeing that hold on that 5th base, a big factor And he'll just keep that alive just about throughout. This is huge as Clem gets a few more Vikings on the way. A couple extra ghosts in production as well. A few of these reinforcements already getting caught though, and Clem going to have to be careful as once again Trap's made this move multiple times where Clem's been busy down on the more bottom side of the map. And Trap just dives up this ramp and into the natural / main. It's been such a good move for him repeatedly as Clem's got to figure out a way to get into his main base to play defense. That's going to involve dropping in. He is going to get away with the drop. He is actually going to be able to play defense there. Good move.
Yeah, Liberator at the same time getting 13 worker kills. Trap not really responding to that whatsoever. Worker counts are still in favor of Trap. Income, however, in favor of Clem. Clem's army also looking pretty powerful. Now the second half of the army is going to be capable of surrounding this. Vikings go back into the sky. There's not a lot of EMPs here. That means that Zealots are going to perform quite well. But the Colossus fighting a refinery are going to get taken out. Prism might get sniped here as well. And I think Clem is just barely going to be capable of taking this game.
What a fantastic game number 2. Trap absolutely looked as though he was able to cause Clem just enough trouble, but he was probably just a fight away from winning this, and just didn't quite have it in the end. This game had a lot of fun moments, and now Trap currently in the issue of he's got workers, but he can't transition them into army units fast enough. He's still warping in DTs, but Clem is already on the hunt with a major army through the middle, and there's not much to fight back.
Yeah. And this is very typical of Clem, is that despite not ever really getting a big Liberator count, with pure Ghost, Viking, Marauder, Medevac, he can take extremely efficient fights. Because if you take a look at the resources lost, Clem is just up 5k, which is not uncommon for Terran players if there is big Liberator counts, especially with +2 ship weapons. But I think it is fairly rare to see that versus relatively high Disruptor counts if you're just playing with like Marauder Ghost.
Yeah. No, it's you're right, kind of wild efficiency to see. You mentioned liberated counts. We're seeing some more libs added on now as Clem has freedom to kind of establish a better army on the map, so immediately goes to those liberators as a way to do exactly that. Probably doesn't necessarily need them here, and I think I would have been a fan of him just kind of going a little bit. Like, tough game to kind of call the exact position of, but we could obviously see Trap really didn't have much at all, so a bit of a shove across the map probably could have tipped this game over the edge already.
Yeah. Yeah, it really could. I do like that Clem is trying to play it out properly. I love that Trap is staying in as well. He's gonna snipe, well, none of these Liberators. Does manage to damage both of them, so it's a moral victory if anything. He's now gonna get some hits with those Disruptors. We saw some really nice Disruptor hits at the start as well, but it just wasn't enough. And this is just kind of what it feels like playing against Clem. Like, even if everything goes your way, then, you know, it's still rough. It really is still rough.
Clem now should be heading down to the bottom left-hand side. Up a game in this series, of course, about to be up 2, and hence going to the finals, where it will be another Clem Max Packs Best of 5 final today. And WardiTV Monday. The Libs are sieging, these probes are doomed. And Trap is going to try and counterattack again. Not sure the counterattack will do much. There's honestly a pretty decent chunk of bio here. Stim up, and we should be somewhat okay. There's a few units that are a bit further back that can help, and Trap is realizing that this is maybe not doing what he would have hoped for it to do. I mean, he is testing every opportunity he has to maybe bring this back, but yeah, Clem has way too much at this point. It's been close, it's been back and forth, it's been pretty epic, honestly. Clem is going to secure that 2-0.
Yeah, very well done. It's also nice to think about the fact that, you know, Trap is a very good player, and just thinking that I could have had the exact same score against Clem as he just did. It does bring a smile to your face, doesn't it, Wardy?